2018 Yamaha Star Venture. We were one of the lucky ones to spend about, a couple hundred miles. We're on day 2 of day 3. We logged probably about nearly 400 miles on this 2018 V-twin touring bike, and it's pretty neat. It's really interesting to see Yamaha's take on the V-twin touring experience. Is it a Harley Davidson lookalike? Is it a Goldwing replica? And what this bike is neither. It's a unique bike in the segment. If you're looking for a really easy, a really friendly, a really refined V-twin touring bike, this Star Venture is that bike. Right when we hopped on the motorcycle, probably the thing that stuck out in my mind the most is just how smooth everything is. From the engine to the handling to the way it rides. It's such a finely calibrated instrument at delivering all the good things that you want in a touring bike. Starting with the engine, a lot of people were wondering, why did Yamaha go with the V-twin configuration? Why isn't it liquid cooled? Why isn't it V4? Well, Yamaha really had their heart set on the air-cooled configuration, because if you've ever ridden another brand's American V-twin, you know what that V-twin's all about. You know what that thing sounds like. You know how the power pulses are. You know that classic nostalgic feel. And this air-cooled engine has it. Yamaha, they pride themselves in their engineering know-how and their ability to design and build things that other people can't. And this OHV 8-valve engine, it is probably the smoothest, most refined air-cooled V-twin ever made. It's really quite amazing how smooth that engine is just from off idle. I mean, it puts out peak torque at 2,500 RPMs, which is almost unheard of in the air-cooled V-twin world. It just, that low-end grunt is there. Yeah, I wish it had a little bit more oomph and power at higher revs, but you really can't knock it just because it doesn't matter what gear you're in. You can be in 6th gear, you can be in 5th gear, you can be in 4th gear. Lug the engine, twist the gas, the thing's just pulling. It's a very smooth engine, and for guys and girls that want a motorcycle engine that they can just, they don't have to worry about being in the right part of the power band. They don't have to worry about what gear they're in. You can take off from 3rd gear from a stop if you want. This bike will do it just because it's got that low-end grunt. It doesn't sound excessively loud. Inside the cockpit, it's a very quiet cockpit. There's no weird drivetrain noise, any weird hum or lurch or whine from the powertrain, just absolute smoothness. As a passerby, if you're standing by the side of the road and you hear someone accelerating on this bike, it sounds really good. That V-twin, potato sound is absolutely there. Yet, when you're in the cockpit, it's not loud, it's not annoying. You can tell Yamaha really did their homework in the sound tuning department. Some might want a little bit louder of a ride, but you really can't knock Yamaha for tuning the exhaust note the way they did, because there's a lot of comfort inside the cabin. The triple disc hydraulic brakes on this motorcycle, even though it weighs 954 pounds, these brakes stop this motorcycle. Brake lever feel is very good. There's a lot of power. I really like the ability to adjust the front brake lever based on the size of my hand. I ran it in position 4 because my hands are a little bit smaller. Same thing with the clutch, you can adjust the position. I like that the ABS and the link brakes, it didn't get in my way. When I was riding the bike, even though the brakes are connected, it felt really natural when I was braking. Us V-twin riders love to have a real powerful big rear brake, and this bike's got it. Yamaha spent a lot of time on this motorcycle in their wind tunnel to get the air management right, and the cocoon of wind that goes over you is quite pleasing. I mean, it's a very comfortable ride. When it was a little bit chilly in the morning here, you can actually modify the air deflectors and keep air off your body, which keeps your body a little bit warmer. Conversely, when it's kind of hot outside, you can blast those deflectors towards you, and it brings that cooling air towards your body. It keeps you really comfortable. The adjustable height windscreen, also another plus. In full up mode, it really does a great job of deflecting wind around the rider. It's a really comfortable ride. Conversely, when it's a little bit hotter out and you want that wind in the hair experience, you can lower that windscreen and get that feel that we all motorcyclists seek when we ride. The creature comforts on this bike are very advanced too, from the adjustability of the seat to the passenger footrest, how you can move them up or down. You know, you name it, this bike's got it. Cruise control, heated seats, heated grips, the 7-inch full-color TFT infotainment center is quite advanced. There's a lot of features in that thing. It's going to take you some time to figure out the controls and the ability to manipulate all the settings, just because it has so many. But at the same time, I really like the way Yamaha intuitively set up the menu. You know, if you don't read the user's manual, chances are you're going to have a pretty easy time figuring out the settings and learning how to use them. You know, reading the owner's manual is obviously going to make it a lot quicker, but kudos to Yamaha. A lot of times Japanese companies, they don't get intuitive settings right, especially when you're in an English language country, but Yamaha did on this Star Adventure, and it's a really great motorcycle. Handling on this bike, I can't believe how agile it is. I mean, this bike is super responsive. A lot of people are gonna gripe about the 954-pound curb weight. Yeah, it weighs a lot when you're moving at a standstill and you're picking up off the kickstand. But as soon as you get moving, this bike is crazy agile. It's almost too agile. You know, where some of the other motorcycles in the class, they're a little bit more, you set them in a turn and they just go. This thing, you know, if you put any little pressure on the handlebar or the foot controls, this bike's turning, it's moving. If you're a person who really values maneuverability and the ability to move the bike, you're gonna love this thing. The SurePark electronic motor that allows you to move the motorcycle forward and back, it's ingenious. It makes parking the motorcycle so easy. Come in too wide, no worries. Come in too shallow, no worries. Put the SurePark in, push the button forward or reverse, and the bike will take you right into your perfect parking position. It really is a great feature. Overall, I really like what Yamaha has done with this motorcycle. If I was to make this Star Adventure mine, I would definitely invest in the Yamaha accessory backrest for the rider. You know, in stock format, the seat did put a little bit of pressure in the middle of my back. I would really like to have that back support. This is a bike you're going to want to log, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles on. That backrest, I think, would be a little bit better for guys like me who are a little bit taller. I really like what Yamaha has done with this V-twin touring bike. It does a lot of things well, and it's a very, very advanced motorcycle in the class. And I think if you're looking for a motorcycle that is just insanely easy to ride, insanely smooth, still gives you that authentic V-twin excitement and thrill in a very manageable and easy to use and well-rounded package, this $25,000 Star Deluxe is going to be that bike for you. You're going to really have a good time. It's built for logging miles. You've heard how well this motorcycle performs. But what about the infotainment center? What about the passenger accommodations? What about some of the creature comforts that really set this bike apart from the competition? Well, we're going to cover that in the next video, so stay tuned.